So it's that time of the year, so what better way to celebrate the holiday spirit with some good old-fashioned, wholesome Christmas movie fun. And today, courtesy of one of my top-tier patrons, Greg C., we have one such movie. Good old, wholesome family fun. Better Watch Out is brought to us by director Chris Peckover. The name sounds made up and stars Olivia DeJonge, Levi Miller, and Ed Oxenbould. On a quiet suburban street, a babysitter must defend a 12-year-old boy from home intruders, only to find that this isn't a normal home invasion. So once a month, each of my tier 4 patrons get to request of me to watch one movie of their picking. And this month, one of my top tier patrons, Greg C., picked Better Watch Out. Now, I've never seen this movie. I'd heard of it. I knew it was a Christmas movie, but that was about it. But let me tell you, this movie was not what I was expecting upon reading the name. Now, Greg recommended that I not watch the trailer prior to going into this film. And I have to agree, if you are going to watch this movie, I would suggest not watching the trailer. The trailer to this movie gives away a bit too much. I would go into the movie a bit cold. Now, that being said, I'm not going to spoil anything in this review, but I am going to have to touch on some of the things that happen in the movie in order to give you an idea of what it's all about. And from the synopsis, as you can tell, it is a home invasion film, but it ends up being a whole lot more than that. This is, for the most part, a dark comedy. Yes, there is a home invasion plot. It does involve a babysitter, a 12-year-old kid, and another kid, and some other people get involved as well. But like I said, things go much further beyond that. And this movie was a really good fucked up time. Emphasis on the fucked up. This movie is one seriously fucked up Christmas movie. There are things that happen in this movie, and as they're happening, you start to think, you know, something else is going on here. And I actually did kind of pick out what was going on up to a point. But then shit took a left turn into Out There'sville, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. And it just kept going from there. And honestly, it was a really good time. A really fucked up good time, but still a good time nonetheless. There's blood, there's some violence, and there's some really uncomfortable moments. Can't really say much more about the plot without giving it away, but just know that as soon as you think you know what's going on, it's going to change it on you. So just go along for the ride and have a good time. Now, even though this is a dark comedy, and it does stick to that for the vast majority of the film, closer to the end at one point, it takes another turn and gets really serious and really dark. Like, no comedy. There's some parts in this movie that are just fucking dark. Dark, twisted, and of course, fucked up. I know I've used the descriptor fucked up about this movie quite a few times so far in this review already, but really, that's just the best thing I can think of to say about this movie. It's just fucked up. I can already see it in the comments, somebody saying, hey, was it fucked up? Yes, it is. It's really fucked up. They're gonna demonetize the shit out of this video. Now, while I don't want to spoil any of the plot points in the movie, I will say that the dark humor side of the film is really good. This is a funny movie if you're into dark comedy. If not, then you're probably not gonna like it. You're probably gonna be pretty horrified by it. But if you are into that whole dark comedy thing, you're gonna find some really funny moments in this movie. You might feel like you need to talk to somebody about why you thought some of this shit was funny by the end of the movie, but it is darkly comedic. The movie's also very tightly directed by Chris Peckover. He keeps this story moving along at a very brisk pace. You're never really given the time to stop and think and get bored, but it's okay. It really works with this story. It needs to move at a fast pace, and it absolutely does. The movie only clocks in at about an hour and a half long, but it didn't even feel like it was that long. It flew by in no time at all. I saw in some of the promotional material that someone likened this to like a cross between Home Alone and The Strangers, and honestly, that is probably the most apt description that I could think of beyond the aforementioned fucked up. The movie overall was a really good time, a really uncomfortable good time at times, but it was overall a really good time. The cast did a great job overall as well. The vast majority of the film is our 3 leads, but we get some other performers come and go too. Most notably, Patrick Warburton and Virginia Madsen as the parents were a joy to see the limited amount of screen time that they got. But our 3 leads, DeJonge, Miller, and Oxenbould, all did a fantastic job here. Levi Miller in particular stood out to me
me. I don't want to go into too much detail as to why that is, because it does kind of go into plot points I don't want to touch on, but just know the kid did a fantastic job here, and it makes me want to look and see what else is in his filmography so I could check out some other stuff he's been in. Overall, the cast did a great job here, and all of them were very effective. The movie looks great and has some really nice cinematography, but one of the things I really noticed about it was its violence and gore. Not that I noticed there was a lot of it, which, I mean, there's a decent amount of it, but it implies a lot more than it actually shows. Now, in some cases, you don't want that. In some cases, you want that over-the-top geysers of blood and just insane amounts of violence. But here, it kind of worked. Well, we do get some violence and blood that we actually see on screen. Some of it we don't even really see. One scene in particular that is pretty damn horrifying, you never really see what happens, but the sound effects and just the way it's shot and the looks of the people that are witnessing this crazy act happen, they all just sell it. It really worked. We didn't need some gratuitous amount of gore in this scene for it to be effective. The way that it was made here was probably even more effective if they had just shown some geyser of crazy insane blood. And that and some of the other scenes in the film are a testament to sometimes less is more. Now, that's not to say that we don't get any gore. There is definitely some here. It's just a lot more subdued than you initially think it is. And the fact that the movie does come across as more violent and gory than it really actually is a testament to how well the movie was made. As a whole, in the technical department, this movie was in very good hands with Peckover. Guys, there's not much more I can say about Better Watch Out without spoiling something. Just know that I had a really good time with it, and if you are into dark humor, then I strongly suggest checking it out. What at first comes across as a fairly simple story ends up taking quite a few twists and turns to make this really interesting, yet very uncomfortable at times, fucked up movie. We got some great performances. Overall, the movie looks fantastic, and it is expertly directed. Me, myself, I'm probably gonna watch this movie again, and while this brand of humor might not be for everyone, those that it is for, it is absolutely worth a buy.
Do it! Do it!
Show me the money!
Do it!
You motherfucker!
So,
Show me the money!
do it!
I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. It was just really damn well made. So if you're looking for a really darkly comedic, well-made Christmas movie for the night, then check out Better Watch Out, and I think you're gonna have a really good time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of Better Watch Out. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit the subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below and become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits that go along with that, like these guys. And possibly join my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Greg C. and Dragon Khan, and get your opportunity to request of me to watch any movie of your choice once a month like Greg C. did today. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Philadelphia! I know I said it in the body of the review about not watching the trailer before watching this movie, but I cannot stress enough. If you really want to get the full impact of this movie, just stay away from the trailer. I know it's tempting to just type it in right there and just see what it is I've been talking about. I showed clips of the trailer in the review, but I tried to keep the audio out so you didn't get the full picture of what was going on. But the trailer just shows too much. If you go into this thing totally cold, you are gonna be pretty wowed by it. Either that, or you're gonna be really fucking disturbed and you're gonna be wondering, why the hell did I listen to this asshole on YouTube tell me to watch this movie? Because it is fucked up. Though you can't say that I didn't warn you on that front.